Hello everyone, it's the Canadian Wi-Fi here. What I have for you here today is kind of a 1v1v1 team that I made with tennis. It's like a meme team that we do in call when we don't really want to play, but we want to play and build. So we each submitted 3 Pokemon to this team, and then I went afterwards and kind of edited it a little bit to make it a little bit more viable. The result is a team that has a bunch of meme sets and absolutely no switch into Tapu Koko whatsoever. So I wouldn't recommend using it, but it is really fun. It has Crocarona, like Suicune, but with Quiver Dance instead of Calm Mind. I've had this weird thing recently where in a lot of tiers, and this is what this video is about, I've been trying to like recreate Crocoon with different Pokemon, basically max HP, max defense with a boosting move, rest talk, etc. And Volcarona is actually pretty cool because it not only has Flame Body, but it also has Quiver Dance. So other than that, it's Defog Torn, Magic Room, Modest, Megazam, Dual Dance, Margiana, Choice Banded Ferrothorn, and Choice Specs Ash Gren. This first game is going to be just a standard OU game. I forget exactly how high it was, but it was like, I'm like 20-3 or something on my ult, so it's not like low ladder. Like you can tell the guy has a Pokemon team. It's not shit. I don't know why I've been laddering so much, but anyway, first turn I'm gonna go for water move instead of Dark Pulse. That was at Tennis's request, and because of that, I'm forced to make plays turn 2 because suddenly he has a Trick Room Margiana out. I miss Focus Blast. I missed Hydro Pump on his Margiana, then I missed Focus Blast on Mawile, and suddenly I'm in a world of hurt. So I've missed a few moves, and now suddenly there's a +2 Mawile looking at me in Trick Room, and it's very scary. So I'm gonna go to Torn, and luckily he's silly and Sucker Punches, so this is gonna allow me to get rid of the rocks because I'm pretty sure that Volcarona's my switch in. And then I figured I might as well go for Sky Strike because I'm here, and he didn't Sucker that turn, which is great. I go to Greninja, completely forget about Sucker Punch to be completely honest, but luckily I can live it because Greninja's amazing. And I'm going to get to my Battle Bond here. Don't think Dark Pulse would have killed, and this basically forces him into Lati. Latios is apparently mixed nowadays, which is actually better for me because it allows Volcarona to set up. But yeah, it's what a weird world we live in that their fairies are so rampant that a Pokemon that's literally been the best Pokemon in the tier pretty much for the last 2 gens outside of Keldeo, and the main reason why it's so good is because it also counters Keldeo. Suddenly Keldeo and it are both just shit because fairies are everywhere, so shout out to the Tapus for ruining Pokemon. Anyway, I rest on this turn, which is like horrible because this is going to allow him to set up a Trick Room with Margiana and like continue to wreck face, but for some reason he doesn't do it. He doesn't opt to go for it, which is weird. And you know all those misses from earlier on in the game? Yeah, I pulled 2 Flamethrowers back to back when I needed to, so that's pretty sick. And at this point, I was pretty sure he was going to go to Latios. It's like just to Trick. If he went to Lati instead of something else, it was just a Trick. And at this point, your boy's going to chill here with a +3/+3/+3 Volcarona. And sadly I get crit, but okay, so this game's just fascinating because like the hacks is flying left and right. You thought I won, I get crit with Hydro. I have Bulldoze on my Choice Banded Ferrothorn. Dodge 1 Focus Blast, get another Bulldoze off. Am I gonna be faster? No, but I dodge a 2nd Focus Blast. I was literally dying in the chat, and then he misses a Hydro to end the game off. It's just like, this is Pokemon. Like, just the whole game was a shit show. It was horrible. He missed a bunch of moves, I got hacked, he got hacked, and I won the game with a Choice Banded Ferrothorn locked into Bulldoze. So we're gonna start game 2 here. This is actually an RU game. I have been playing so much RU. I haven't brought you any lives or like videos with this team yet, but I've wanted to. I just haven't had the time. RU is really fun, and Zydog is really broken. You need a water or like a grass on every team, and I have gone through so many variations of this team, replacing the fire type, replacing the grass type, replacing the water type, Mega Blastoise instead of Melodic, having Salazzle instead of Ninetales, which allows me to replace Roserade with Shaman, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't even know what's going on in RU, but I know that team building's pretty much stale because you need to counter Zydog. Regardless, this is a game against, I don't know, someone on the RU ladder, and like I said, I played like a good amount of RU actually back a couple weeks ago, so we're moderately up the ladder here, and Melodic's really good, but it's full physically defensive because I need it to take on physical threats in this tier. So I don't really have a switch to Nidoqueen because, I don't know, look at my team. I really don't have anything better than Melodic here. So this is going to be like a super boring few turns where I basically spam recover, get off a Scald, burn it, and then, do I burn it? I'm like pretty sure I burned it, yeah. And then I try to whittle it down and die, but then he just gets maxed on this Earth Power. So like I was in the clear, but then I wasn't, so regardless, I have Rock Stuff, and he doesn't really have anything that wants to take 1,000 arrows. Shoutouts to me for being wild, because I run 1,000 waves on my Zygarde dog, in addition to 1,000 arrows. So like, you may be thinking that's really stupid, but I just find the switch initiative canceling is more effective than toxic. So like, if they go out into Slowbro, you can 1,000 waves it, and then know that on the next turn they are forced to stay in because you 1,000 waves them, and I don't know, you get your damage, and then you get some switch initiative. I just think it's more effective than toxicing it or whatever you run. Like, honestly, the only moves you ever click are 1,000 arrows and extreme speed anyway. You never click outrage. So yeah, basically, just, I don't know, I found 1,000 waves to be a kind of neat little addition to Zydog. But Bandit is just incredible. Anyway, as you can see in this game, this is Crow Raikou. It's actually won me a few games in RU, and it's only lost me one. And it's so stupid. I was really high on the ladder actually at one point. I was like 1650, 1700 with this team. And there was one game where I literally just won the game. If I just had max speed Raikou, I could have clicked Thunderbolt twice and won. But it was Crow Raikou with no speed investment, so it got outsped by a banded sock. Lived the hit because of the defense investment, but then died to the second thing. I forget how it went. But the guy was like, "What the fuck is this Raikou?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was weak to stall, so I've been trying out Crow Raikou, and it's actually really fun. Like, I don't know what I like more, Volcarona or Raikou as like my Crocoon clone. Raikou has Intimidate, and electric typing is pretty solid. Or, sorry, did I just say Intimidate? I meant Pressure, which is like one of the reasons why Suicune is so good. But Volcarona has, you know, the burn move, which is also why Suicune is so good. Like, Suicune's just perfect. Like, its attacking move also burns, and then, oh, Suicune's so good. Anyway, this is gonna be the last game. This is against, as you can see, Disgusting Stall in OU. And this is just, you know, the reason I'm bringing you this is because something interesting happened. So don't worry, it's not just like a boring stall game. Like, it's not the most exciting stall game, but I know right away that basically the only way I'm going to win is if I can knock off the Eviolite off the Chansey, because if I don't get the Eviolite off of the Chansey, then the Volcarona probably will not be able to win, and I'm pretty sure my only way to win is with Volcarona. I don't really have an electric switch in, as I mentioned in Team Preview in the first game. I don't really have a switch to type with Coco, so the fact that Zapdos is also an electric type is just as troublesome. So Zapdos is a bit of a problem, especially because it's pressure as well, which means I can't just spam my moves with Ferrothorn. I need to keep my Gyro Balls and Power Whips for potentially later on in the game, because it is banded and it will be able to do damage. Anyway, I set up Magic Room, which means lefties and a Violite specifically will be cancelled, which means if he wanted to go to Chansey here, he wouldn't have a Violite, and I could just Focus Blast him, which I think he predicted because he knew that I was going to predict the switch, and he went to Mew, which is a decent play on his part, and I'm going to use this opportunity to go into Greninja, and I go for Dark Pulse. I'm not quite sure why he didn't go to Chansey. Maybe he was worried about Protean with like Low Kick or Gunk Shot or something, or like, do they run all-out pummeling Brick Break? No idea. But I'm going to go for one Gyro Ball there on the Pressure Zapdos. Remember, keep track of my Gyro Ball PP because it actually comes into play later on in the game. I don't know why I switched Tornin. I think I was expecting a Heat Wave, and I think I always think that my Tornaduses are Assault Vest, even though now they run Flying Gem, so I always think it's way bulkier than it is. But I miss a Focus Blast on the Aggron, which sucks, because I don't know if it would have died, but it would have done like 60 probably. I'm modest as well, so maybe even more, but it's at this point where I'm going to attack Torn just to get rocks off the field, go to Volcarona, try to scare at Aggron, and at this point, like, fuck, what can I do, right? So he goes for Earthquake, which, Jesus, it still does 26, which makes me feel like it does like 40 to regular Volcarona, which is absurd, but I'm just going to Quiver in this thing's face. It's probably going to heal. I don't even remember what happens here, but I do remember being pretty satisfied with the damage output once I finally go for an attack, because of course at this point I've yet to reveal Rest. He still just thinks like, okay, like there has to be something. Maybe it's Resto Chesto, but he sees Leftovers, so like he's like, this guy's just fucking stupid. He's just quivering for the sake of it. But actually they're going to rest up. And at this point, maybe perhaps there was a little bit of pants shitting on the opponent's team going on. I actually decided to rest one turn early because I knew I'd probably pull a fucking Quiver Dance. But he actually gets burned with Flame Body, which is pretty neat. A little bit extra residual. And the Flamethrower here will be sick. And I do get it. And it's 51, dude. That's so much damage. I have no idea what the investment is on this Chansey. But like, Jesus, dude. I just took out a Chansey with a Violate at plus, like, with no investment on Volcarona. With Flamethrower. Like, that's insane. Anyway, he goes at the Clefable. I get the burn right away, which is cool. But, shocker, this is unaware, and he's setting up in my face, which means I can't stay in, and I have one counterplay to this, which is going to Ferrothorn and clicking Gyro Ball. Sadly, he has a Zapdos still, so that's not good, especially because it has pressure, and I only have 6 Gyro Balls left, so... Gonna go out into this. I'm gonna set up a Calm Mind here because I'm gonna be able to get off a Flirt Cannon and it's gonna threaten something on his team like pretty heavily. Also Focus Blast for Aggron, but he crits me. And I was pretty sure at this point the game was over. I go out to Greninja to try to flinch this thing because I'm like, okay, you can Hex me, maybe I'll Dark Pulse flinch you. No, it's not gonna work that way. So, I still technically, like, I'm not out of this game just because I have Crocarona. It's a little bit weird, the mind games that we're going on here. Obviously, he has Clefable, and at any point he could go to Clefable, and I'd force it to go to Ferrothorn, and then Ferrothorn would go for Gyro Ball if I predict him to stay in, or like... I was basically spamming Flamethrower because I didn't want him to go into Clefable. Remember, Clefable's 60% and burned, which means if I can Flamethrower it on the switch, then it is dead. So I basically needed to predict him to... not switch into Clefable, and it was just a little bit weird. I needed to catch the Clefable on a switch, and he's obviously just trying to fodder something. So I'm just trying to stay healthy, keep my Volcarona high, and like any of these turns, I was totally expecting him to try to like switch out or pull something shenanigans, but he's totally content just sacking me, which is a fair play. So I believe I just kill it off on this turn with a Flamethrower. I'll be honest, I forget what happens at the end of this game, but I know it's worth watching, so stay tuned. Okay, this I don't understand. I think he sacked the rest of his team because he figured he won it. I have no... Oh, it just clicked. He's trying to PP stall Flamethrower. He's literally trying to PP stall Flamethrower because he realizes if you run out of Flamethrower, then it's going to be awfully hard to win, won't it? And I know I'm like down on Flamethrowers. You get 24 PP, and I probably have used up like 12 or 13 or 14 of them at this point. Like probably 15 once I kill the Ultima Mole, so I only have like 9, which means like I can't sit here all day against the Clefable. Like, if it had infinite PP, I might be able to win eventually on a crit. But as you can see, he has Wish Tech as well, which stalls even more PP, and of course a Pressure Zapdos. So like, I'm kind of running out of PP on Volcarona, which isn't ideal. I'm pressuring it. I'm doing 40 damage each turn, and his lefties are cancelled. But I'm gonna have to go to Ferrothorn here, as I am here, and this is where the shit just gets good because Zapdos is a little bit weak. Gyro does 33. He gets lefties to 34. Fucking dodge the Heat Wave, max damage. I have 2 Gyro Balls left, I believe, after that, because I had 6 to 4, 4 to 2. There's 1. Bam. He doesn't know I'm banded. Goodbye. Or maybe he does know I'm banded. He probably knew I was banded. Maybe he just thought he could live. I don't fucking know. I just thought that was a really funny game. I chewed apart Saul with a Choice Banded Ferrothorn and a Rest Talk Volcarona, so... if I could recommend you something, it's to use Volcarona, because from what I can read on the OU forums, the little bit of snooping around I've been doing is that Volcarona is one of the best Pokemon in the game right now. Surprise, surprise, Defog is rampant and Volcarona is broken, but I know this set is pretty fun. Like, I don't know how good it is, but its defensive typing isn't terrible, and Flame Body is kind of fun. Rest Talk. Go ahead and try it out. I guess I could leave the team down below, but you should probably build something else. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Check out Clover if you haven't. It's obviously not everyone's cup of tea, but I don't know, give it a watch. I do try, because I know not even everyone watches these replays. I know the live narrations are like generally way better. It's like 33 to 40% more views on a live narration as opposed to one of these, and like the editing that goes into one of these is way more than the editing that goes into a live narration. The live narration is like just play Pokemon for like 30 minutes and then put music and then upload, but that's generally how it goes. The more effort you put in, the less reward you get. So I know that from YouTube. I've done this thing for 10 years. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to let me know what you think down below. I read every comment and try to respond to every single one of them eventually. So I love you all, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.